Hi, I'm Lori,
I'm Gab.
and we would like to talk to you a little bit about what this Bold Adventures thing is all about. So we are using design thinking to create professional development for teachers that's timely and relevant.
And here is why we think this is important.
So kids' brains nowadays are actually wired differently than ours were when we were going through school. Everything as far as technology and the speed of the way life is unfolding in the last 20 years has physically changed their brains, and so they need to learn at a much different pace than we learned.
And we know a lot more about brain plasticity now. We know that the brain is constantly changing, and we need to use that information in order to help kids learn.
So kids' brains, because they're changing so quickly, that can be harder to motivate them, harder to engage them. And this can be really frustrating and difficult, but we need to be constantly iterating what we're doing in the classroom. Okay.
So because of all these changes that kids are dealing with, we also need to make sure that we continue to change in the classroom. We need to accept that we are going to have to continue to change things every year because the world around us is constantly changing.
Right. There's no more, like, you can't be going back to those old units and doing the same thing over and over again.
There are no more binders.
Right.
No binders.
Right. No binders. Electronic, maybe jot your ideas down, but you've got to be constantly iterating. So because you are constantly iterating and changing up your lessons, you've got to also be checking in with students and getting feedback and, figuring out what's working and what's not, and then again iterating and changing it up so that it works better for them.
The design thinking process is commonly being used by businesses to create products for their users by empathizing with them and creating products that are specifically designed for them. And as educators, we really need to be doing the same thing. And the design thinking process can really help us empathize with our users, who are our students, and keep up with their changing world.
So in addition to working with the design thinking process with our students, we are also taking it for a test drive with Teacher PD. And that's sort of our whole idea here, is how can we adapt to what you need as teachers, because you need timely and relevant PD just as students need timely and relevant lessons. And so, we're going to use the design thinking process to redefine teacher professional development.
Traditional Teacher PD is not serving our needs anymore because things are changing so rapidly, and the pace at which traditional professional learning happens and the systems within which it happens don't serve our needs or our students' needs in the world we live in.
So rather than wait for the systems to change, we're changing it. And so we look forward to you joining us in these bold adventures.